Can you tell me a bit more about the helpline?
Well, the helpline was originally set up to, help people with the changes in benefits. When it started November, everything was around the bedroom tax. So we got a lot of calls because there's a lot of myths out there. And now with universal credits, we find people phoning up and they're scared because they're hearing different myths. So at least we can alleviate those fears and say this is happening, and get them prepared, because a lot of people haven't got access to a computer, or they're not computer literate, they haven't got a bank account. Just to save a bit of money, like credit union, £1 a week away, something like that, just to get them to prepared for when the changes do happen. They're fully aware of it and they're just ready, and that's half the fear gone from them then. While they're on the phone then, there's other changes like personal independence payments, and we can get them ready for that. Again, just handy tips, save things recorded from doctors. And they get all this misinformation, and then at least we can say, look, don't worry, this is what's going to be happening, So sometimes we get people, are quite upset, and they'll phone up and think we are the government and shout at us, why are you doing it to us? But then if we could calm them down and then go through, look, you can do this to help yourself, you can do that. Budgeting's a big thing. It's a huge thing, budgeting, but, from going to weekly to 4 weekly. And we can send out simple budgeting tips and things like that. So,
What's common myths that you're coming across on the helpline?
Being told it's happening next week. The main thing that the people want to know is, when is it happening? And that's the biggie. When is it happening? And we've got the postcodes. But it's just also, we've been told we're not going to get it. We're not going to get our housing benefit anymore. Well, yes, you're still getting your housing benefit, but it's going to be paid as a lump payment. There's lots of things like that. We do get a lot of calls from people who benefit, have been sanctioned with the move over. So at the moment, that's a bit of a problem. And you can imagine, you're on your money now. Next week, you haven't got any money because you've been sanctioned for the simple reason you've gone over to another benefit. So, and they're phoning up and they haven't got any money at all. So I think as time goes on, with universal credits coming in and these changes, there's going to be more and more people being sanctioned for, not working, not looking for employment for whatever reason. So there's a lot of calls coming through. We got one now this morning, which I got a contact now. She's been sanctioned. She's got no money for food. So I got to try and find a food bank or something to get her to the food bank. So I haven't spoke to her in detail yet, but she's on my list to do. So
common calls that you get?
Common calls would be just for the universal credits, just to find out. That's the biggie at the moment. We get a lot for sanctions, so they see your benefits are changing and they think that the way the DWP, so they call, but then when you listen to them and we go into explaining all the DWP, they'll then say, oh well, I've been stopped my money, and then we can say, look, how can we help you? So we're helping people there as well. It depends, on what, a couple of months ago everything was bedroom tax. Everything was bedroom tax. They were phoning up about, can I stay in my property? People, and again, the urban myth was they say, people are saying I have to have somebody live with me. Well, I've got to take a lodger. It's like, no, you haven't got to take a lodger. That's just one of a number of things you can do. So, and now at the moment, universal credits, they're like, is it true I'm not going to have any money for a month, 5 weeks, which is going to be the case because it's going to be monthly. So it's like, right, it's not happening straight away, you will be told, but they think it's going to be happening next week or the week after. So they're scared. Obviously they are.
And you've been doing this for 3.5 years. Have you noticed the volume of call changing and the nature of the calls changing?
Well, we haven't been on the telephone line for 3.5 years. The telephone line was set up a year ago, last November, pre-bedroom tax, so all the calls then were bedroom tax. Well, there are a lot of calls. What I've noticed in the 3 years, just in general money advice, people are embarrassed now to be on benefits. I think that's come across, you know, they're humiliated now, whereas before they weren't. Now this, you know, they're just embarrassed, you know, that are on they're on benefits, and you know, 25% of our calls, people are working. You know, they're on tax credits, child tax credits. So there's this stigma now seems to be attached to it. So yeah, and that's coming across more on the telephone line. This stigma is like, oh, the thing is, and you know, which we never got in the beginning. This stigma, and it's certainly coming over now. So I don't know if you know, people are starting to feel a bit demonised now and a bit embarrassed. Yeah.
Of the people who call you who are on benefits, do you get the sense that most would really love to be in employment? Because there's a myth, isn't it, that people on benefits don't want to work?
Yeah. Yeah, they, for whatever reason, some people generally, you know, they're just unable to work because of mental health problems or, you know, some sort of disability, that, you know, they just can't work. You know, I have people that's on terminal DLA because they're terminally ill, and they're just made to feel like, you know, awful, and they're claiming benefits, yet they're terminally ill. So, yeah. And they want to, like we say, they want to work for their social well-being as well. They don't want to be, you know, because it makes them worse being stuck in. So, you know, and a lot of people you do talk to, they're doing little courses to help themselves, or they're trying to help themselves in some way, doing voluntary work or whatever. So, yeah.